Hi everyone, the Open Cluster Community meeting. Before we get started, I'm pleased to announce that the CNCF has accepted OCM as a sandbox project. So a big congratulations to the OCM community. For today's agenda, Min Kim is going to present his work around KubeVela and cluster proxy integration with OCM. Whenever you're ready, Min Kim, I know you just joined, but please take it away when you're ready. Thanks.
Hello? Hi.
Yep, we can hear you.
Am I laggy because right now I'm on the VPN?
Seems okay, but I don't think you're sharing yet.
Okay. For a second. Oh, I got it. I'm working on my company's VPN, so I'm logging in.
We
Okay.
can see your screen now.
Yeah. So about weeks ago, I have shared about my proposal on the cluster proxy, and I just made a POC project based on the previously proposed work, and um, the projects are all public, and but they are for now under my private GitHub personal GitHub repositories. But after we making more progress, I think we can transfer the repos to the Open Cluster Management community. And but today I'm gonna demo how everything the cluster proxy and several other add-on works. Yeah. So as you can see in my screen, there are two clusters registered to my hub clusters. One is Vela Dev, another is Vela Prod. By the way, the cluster is named Vela because we are using this environment to demonstrate the integrations between another project named KubeVela, which is trying to build a application models, and the project KubeVela is providing application layer application models, and so we made a few integrations for that project, and so let's assume that the cluster named dev is a cluster for we use as a dev environment, develop environment, and the other is for production environment. So I just developed everything based on the extensibilities on the add-on framework. So we can browse at the cluster management add-on. So there are two. Actually, there are three projects today I'm gonna share, because one is cluster proxy, the other is named managed service accounts. However, the third one is not yet a OCM add-ons, but we can make that into the add-ons really soon. As you can see, I just installed the add-ons for the Vela Dev clusters, and in the hub clusters, I have a dedicated namespace for the add-on named cluster proxy. So as you can see, there's one add-on manager, and the add-on manager is responsible for provisioning the instances of proxy servers under the same namespace of add-on manager. Basically, the proxy servers will be receiving the handshakes from the proxy agents to establish a tunnel, a proxy tunnel, and so let's now let's install the add-ons for another cluster named Vela prod. Okay. Oh. So now I just installed a add-on named cluster proxy to the cluster Vela prod, and we can then we can switch to the Vela prod clusters. So you see there are a few add-on agents automatically installed to the managed clusters, and these add-on agents will be initializing the proxy tunnels towards the proxy servers we installed in the hub cluster. So yeah, after the agents running, we can see the availability of the managed cluster add-on has been updated to true. So but this is not the end of the story, because we are supposed to use do something over the proxy tunnels. So another missing puzzle is the another add-on named service accounts, managed service accounts. The managed service accounts will help us to consistently project the service account tokens from the managed clusters towards the hub clusters. So let's install the add-ons to the hub cluster. Oh, okay. So now we are supposed to see agents. Yes, the agents just installed to the cluster. Now it's running. So so by installing the manage cluster add-ons named the managed service account tokens to the cluster named Vela prod, then we can have we can apply the new resource named manage service account to the hub cluster. As you can see in the API spec, we can basically define two things in the managed service accounts. One is the rotation of the tokens. The other is the projection of the tokens. Actually, there are two supported types of projections. One is none, which means that we will not project the service account tokens inside the hub clusters, and the other is to project tokens as a secret. And additionally, we can add attach some labels to the secrets. So in our case, we're gonna create a managed service account resource to the cluster's namespace develop prod, and the secrets are supposed to be projected into this is not right. Projected into the namespace named the Vela system. So never mind. Yeah. So this is the new managed service account we just applied. Um, 1 second. I think something's probably wrong with the, oh dang. The okay, this happens sometime. But just disclaimer: the project managed service account is still a POC project, and the proposal is not yet merged into our community. So yet there are a bit there are some issues in the implementation. But however, I just prepared the cluster Vela dev. The Vela dev will let's see if the Vela dev is properly working. Oh, that's the same issue. For a second, I will fix the permission issues real quick. Let's fix Vela prod. HP. Yeah. The proxy agents should have the permission of updating lists. So sorry, I have to add this to the permissions. Yeah. Then let's refresh the okay, now it's grading again. Now the permission issue should be fixed. All right. What?
It might be overwriting, right, QGen? Because the help might be overwriting the managed cluster or changes.
I think the role will not be overridden.
Okay.
Oh, this is unclear.
You use a addon framework to generate that row. It is possible to reconcile back, I guess.
I just got the wrong cluster, I think. For a second. Let me wipe out this pod. Fingers. Yeah, now it's working. Oh my god. Okay. And let's get back to manage service account tokens. No, sorry, manage service account. And after the agents in the Vela prod clusters get back to running, then
I
Or
guess I think to my understanding, when you create a managed service account on the hub, your agent will create a service account on the Spoke cluster, and then it will project
um,
that one back, right?
yeah, yes, yes. After the creation of managed service accounts in the hub clusters, a local service account will be created inside the managed cluster. But however, the secrets which will be projected back to the hub clusters is actually signed by a dedicated API named token request.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is basically how the agent is doing. It just ensures the presence of service account tokens, service accounts in the managed clusters, then consistently refresh the service account tokens to the managed service accounts, um, to the status of managed service accounts. So um, if if it's working, I think there's supposed to be a tokens inside the status of the managed service account. But
Yeah, so actually then you can use that token to
um
access the proxy of the managed cluster, right?
yeah, yes, yes. And after after we created the after we um, let me try if it's working.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's assume the managed service account controllers already projected the secrets to the hub clusters. Um, but yeah, and um, then um, in the namespace named Vela system, um, which is where we deployed our cluster gateway. The cluster gateway is basically an aggregated API server, which will be the A server will be registering a new custom resource named cluster gateway to the Kube API servers, and the new resource custom class the new resource of cluster gateway is actually working by converting the existing secrets into a structuralized cluster gateway resource. For example, we can get the cluster gateway resource now, and let's take a look at how it looks. Um, so this is how a cluster gateway resource look like. But actually, our A server, our aggregated API server cluster gateway doesn't have any etcd precision layer. Um, it just the data of the data of cluster gateway is actually converted from the secrets has the same name of the cluster gateways. So actually, the backend of the cluster gateway resource is just a secret, and everything sufficient for crafting a for crafting a cluster gateway resource are all listed here. And for example, the tokens and the types, um, and yeah, and the cluster gateways has a if we take a look at the discovery of the cluster gateway resource, um, yeah, if we request the API discovery of the the new registered API groups, we will find that the cluster resource the cluster gateway resource has a new sub resource named cluster proxy. So the proxy is almost working the same as the built-in sub-resource, which is named pod proxy and services proxy in the Kubernetes. So so we can request the Vela prod clusters like this. We added a API path at the end of the proxy sub-resource, and for example, in this API, we just probe the healthiness of Vela prod clusters. And here is more interesting. There is amazing thing happens when we override the kubeconfig like this. So amazing things will happen if we copy the original kubeconfig of the hub clusters and just adds the API path to the end of the endpoints. Then this kubeconfig will turn into the kubeconfig of the managed clusters. It takes some time on the first try because the kubectls will do additional API discoveries, the whole pack of API discoveries at the first time, so it takes additional time. And so this is a converted, twisted managed cluster kubeconfig from the hub config, but the if you remember, with the managed cluster doesn't have any exposed endpoints, is it? But like in normal cases, if we are requesting a managed the Kube API server of a managed cluster, we should have the credential of the managed clusters and also the endpoints. But we don't have any endpoints. That's the magic of cluster proxies. In the original architecture of OCM, because it's a pool-based architecture, so there's no endpoints. It doesn't require any endpoints in the managed cluster. So I will explain how the endpointless proxy is working. So I think I prepared a picture. It should be yeah. By the way, this document is a PR, is a announcement of our success of CNCF sandbox project. So this will be published very soon.
Thank you for that, man.
The picture is too small, is it? I think I can. Yep. Okay. This is basically how the all of the proxy framework works. We just install the new add-on cluster proxy into the hub clusters, and also the managed service account add-ons, and the cluster gateway will be actively proxying the traffic to the managed clusters, and the endpoints is it doesn't require any endpoint because the cluster gateway is directly putting the traffic into the to the proxy server, and the proxy server will be an ingress inside the hub cluster, traffic ingress, and the agent will be the traffic egress. And after the traffic arriving at the managed clusters, there will be a in the same namespace of the cluster proxy add-on agents, we will see a service. Yes, a service has the same name of the managed cluster, and this service is actually an external name typed service. This will be resolving the cluster name to the Kubernetes.default services. So this is how the proxy the endpoint list, the IP the IP-free proxy works. It's a bit tricky, but everything will be working like a charm if all the add-ons are ready. Forget about the managed service accounts. It's still a POC project. I confess.
Yeah, I think one interesting thing for me is that in the hub you actually use kubeconfig on the hub and to access the API server on the managed cluster through the proxy.
Yeah, you mean this hub kubeconfig? You mean this kubeconfig?
Yeah, I think this kubeconfig is the credential for this kubeconfig is to connect to the hub, but not to the managed cluster. But
yes,
in some way you delegate this one to the service account.
Yes, and after the when the requests arriving at the managed clusters, the identity will be the service account managed by the managed service account. I mean the managed clusters will resolve the request from the cluster gateways as the user of the service accounts, the automatically insured service accounts.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting if we can control things like whether this hub kubeconfig, I mean this hub, the identity on this hub can use a certain managed service account. For example, user one can use this managed service account so they can access a spoke, but user two cannot use this managed service account. We just forbid that to access.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can?
Ideally, we should control the we should have a final granularity of identities. But at this point, I didn't think of a better solution yet. It's in the current phase, I'm just aiming on making the proxy of the traffic works instead of the security of the proxy framework.
QJ, Josh, and Hal, do you guys see similarities between this and KCP? Because I feel like this is something that KCP was sort of doing as well, especially with the server here that is on the screen. And Min was able to get it done with, I think, 203 OCM add-on, I guess, with KubeVela as well. So it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it should be 3 add-ons, I think. Add-ons in all.
I'm not quite sure about that, but I think this is very interesting because I guess in the gateway, because you currently set that type to the proxy, but we also can set that type maybe as direct, that you don't go through the proxy, but just go through them directly go go to the API server. So, but the service account still work, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. The cluster proxy is optional if the networks are isolated. If the networks of between hub clusters and managed clusters are isolated. If the network is mutually accessible, then just proxying, raising the request directly should work.
Yeah, that's really, I think that makes controllers actually I can think of the things is we can have a controllers on the hub that um we can
Oh,
set a
yes.
service we can set a
Um,
service account and link that service account to a managed service account. In that way, the controller on the hub can watch through this endpoint, the watch the
um, yeah. But I don't I'm not sure how to bring that into implementation yet.
yeah.
Um, um, in the without the OCM add-on framework, the automation, the installation of the cluster proxy or the API server network proxies will be actually complicated. But I think, as you can see, we just installed the agents. We just established the proxy tunnels by
Yeah.
simply applying a managed service account, managed cluster add-on. This is really helpful. And I do have some feedbacks on the add-on frameworks. I think I will open some PRs to add, to fix something in the add-on frameworks. I think.
Great.
Thank you for that. And, um, are there any other questions or comments regarding Min's awesome demo? Another topic that we sort of want to discuss is over at the Kubernetes Open Cluster Management channel. We're proposing a different time to accompany more um, global users. I mean, of global community participants for Open Cluster Management. So if you have any feedback, please head over on the Kubernetes Open Cluster Management Slack and sign in on your preference. Please check the chat for free giveaway. If there are no other topics, take care, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye.